Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's foundation, sorry my side itches. For Foundation Friday, we are testing the Rimmel Match Perfection makeup. This is in 100 or 120 ivory. This claims to have 24-hour moisture, a pore blurring effect, and it has SPF 20 in it. You get 1 fluid ounce glass bottle. The only bad thing is this does not come with a pump. So we'll be testing this out. So what we're gonna do for primer, I'm using I just tested this out. The video won't be out until Tuesday. But I tested the L'Oreal Magic Perfecting Base Face Primer. And I actually really liked how it looked because I also tested out a foundation. And it is amazing. So I'm pretty sure that from now on, this is the primer I'll use in foundation videos because I know how it wears and stuff. So definitely recommend this. It is a little pricey, but it is amazing. So we're going to do half the face with a sponge, half with a brush. You know the drill. So let's do our primer real quick. This stuff feels so nice, like for reals. It's animals in the shower. Okay, so now that we're done with that, let's get into the foundation. So here is a swatch of it. It's decently light, I believe. I don't think it oxidized or anything, or it doesn't oxidize, I should say. Okay. So I'm using, again, why is this all wet? Okay, so I'm using the, oh, my nose itches. I'm using the Y6 on one side of the face. I'm going to take my dampened beauty blender and just dot some foundation. And now I'm just going to blend. Sorry guys, I'm trying to like adjust the light and get some works. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see better. We're just gonna blend this out. So I would say this is, oh my goodness. Okay. So I would say this is medium coverage. So I am going to add a second layer. Okay. So I think the color on this is actually really good, especially like for my pale girls out there. I want to say they have like 12 shades, I believe. I'm not sure how dark they get though, but I remember a few years back I had this foundation, and it was something I wore every day to school, to just everything. So we're getting probably high medium now. I'm gonna go ahead and show you up close. Hope you guys can see that. Okay, so maybe that'll work. Okay, nope. Shadows are not my friend today. Okay, so it's covering mostly everything. So there is that. So I like how it looks with the brush. Now we're gonna go in with a sponge. Now I'm pretty sure that you have to set this with a powder, if I remember correctly. I don't believe this dries down. So okay, so I think that you get better, you get better coverage with a brush. So I am going to, I'm just gonna dab. So I'm just gonna go over this and add a second layer. Since this is a decently liquidy foundation, I do think that the, my chest, that the sponge does soak it up more. So that's kind of why it gives you lighter coverage. But it's easier to, depending on the coverage you want. I think if you want low, like sheer medium coverage, I'd use a sponge. If you want more of high medium, maybe full coverage, then I would suggest a brush. Okay. Okay, so okay, so I think we're just done with foundation. I'm going to do my concealer on camera, and I am going to set this. I use the Coty Airspun. I'm going to use the CoverGirl Outlast All Day concealer. This isn't fair. This is more of a skin tone color because I don't want super highlighting going on. This is probably, I'd say, a medium coverage. But it's not bad. Actually, I really like the tip it has. It's really easy to get into all of the crevices of my face. And since this is like my almost exact skin tone and it matches most of my foundations, it is really easy to spot conceal with, and all of that. So now I'm gonna go in with another flat brush. This is the Wet n Wild one. I'm just gonna Okay. So, oh, excuse me. Now that that is all blended out, I'm going to go finish my face, set it with powder, and then I will be back. We're going to call the check-in time 10:45. Ugh, my nose. We're going to call the check-in time 10:45 is when I finish my face makeup, and I will be back. Hi guys, so I finished my face makeup. It is about 11:30 now. I finished my face makeup around 10:45. I did powder this. It is looking, you can see some texture, but it's not as bad as other foundations I've used. It's like the Revlon Compact I tested last week for Foundation Friday. Showed my texture so bad. So on my lips today, I'm wearing the Revlon Matte Ultra HD Liquid Lipstick in 655 Kisses. I'm using the Profusion Natural Eye Palette on my eyes. I use the Salon Perfect Brow Pomade in light brown, I think is what it's called. For my brows, I use the Lash Paradise for my eyelashes. My contour and bronzer is from the LA Colors contour palette. The highlight is from the Profusion Studio Highlight palette. The powder I use to set my face is the Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder. And the setting spray I used is a DIY Witch Hazel setting spray. I think I got everything. And then, of course, you saw what concealer I used. Now, the concealer I used, remember, if you are super pale like I am, the concealer is more of like your natural skin tone versus something that's going to brighten your under eye. So if you do get the CoverGirl Outlast All Day concealer, make sure that you're not using it to brighten, because it's not going to brighten, because I can see it doesn't even really look like I have concealer on, because it just looks like there's a little extra coverage there from my foundation, but it's actually the concealer. So yeah, I think that's it. The next check-in I do will probably be in about 4 or 5 hours. So I'll see you then. Bye. Guys, so it is just about 5 o'clock. Gosh. Ignore my mom. So that is the dorky, Mia Moore. So it's breaking down a little around my nose. But other than that, it still looks good. So everything blended out really nicely on top. It matches my skin tone pretty well. That little pimple's coming out, but that's beside the point. Oh, sorry, my mom's a turd. See, she looks old too. Anyways, I will check back in the at the end of the night. So stay tuned. Bye. Give me the puppy. That's my mom. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So it is, sorry, I'm actually in the local laundromat right now. So right now it is 7:45. So I've had this foundation on for about 9 hours, just roughly. So I'm actually gonna come stand under the light in here. So as you can see, it looks really good. The only problem I've seen is that it is kind of disappearing around my nose area, which for me is pretty typical. So that's not a big deal. But this is how everything is looking. It lasted pretty well. So this is like, as soon as my laundry's done in about 20 minutes, I'm gonna go home, take off my makeup, everything like that. But it does look decent. Everything blended pretty easy. Now, as you can see some texture and stuff like that in my problem areas. But other than that, as you can see, my eye makeup's kind of wearing away right there. My lipstick's completely gone. It did wear away a little on my chin right here. But other than that, it did last pretty well. None of my oiliness is coming through, but I think that's because of the primer I used. I would highly recommend that. Definitely my favorite primer. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!